ladies, my name is Natalie and I'm going to be showing you glass etching today. So this is an example. I actually just tried it out last night and it turned out pretty well. It was my first time, so it's not perfect, but this is the thing that I keep my dish soap in, and now it's labeled so everyone knows what it is. So actually a lot of the things that I use for it are things you may already have in your home, like contact paper. You can use just like the normal shelf liner. It doesn't have to be the clear type. And then I just print out the paper, have an X-Acto knife, and this is probably maybe the only thing that you wouldn't have. And you can get this armor etch at Nichols, and I like to always use their 50% off coupon. So you can always look on Nichols.com and get the coupon for that, and then go pick up some of this armor etch glass etching cream. So it's super simple. The first thing I did, I just chose a font that I liked. I like to choose something that doesn't have a lot of squigglies or really complicated things to cut out because you have to cut the letters out. So I went with just a really basic font and printed out what I want to put on my bottle. This is going to be my olive oil bottle. So printed that out. And then you're just going to cut this paper out so it's a little easier to work with. So you're going to just cut this out and then cut out some contact paper to go with it. And then the way that I do it, you can kind of choose however you want to do it. You could trace it on there, but I actually just tape it onto the paper. I tape the paper to the contact paper, and because you can kind of see through it. And again, that depends on what type of contact paper you get. If you have something that has a pattern on it, you might want to trace it. You should still be able to see through it though. So I just get some tape and tape it on. Make sure that the plastic side is up, and the paper side, where the sticky side is going to be down, so that it'll go onto your bottle the right way. So I'll just keep this on. All right. So there you can see they're stuck together. You can see through there. And then you just take your X-Acto knife and start cutting out. And make sure you have a sharp new blade in it, because otherwise it'll be a lot harder to cut through there. If you have things like an inside of a letter, like the O or in the E, cut out the inside first so that you're not trying to hold that down and cut the inside out afterwards. So this is the most tedious part of the process. And I'm not always too much of a perfectionist, which gets me in trouble here because I'm an end results kind of person. So I have to try and slow myself down so that it actually looks nice. So you just cut it out. If there is an inside, cut that out first, and then set it to the side, because you're going to need to stick this. Use that on your bottle. And the mat I'm using is actually just like a kitchen cutting board mat. I have a paper one, but I don't know where it is. So I'm just using, you can use any kind of cutting board. Just make sure you have a cutting board on it or under it so that you're not cutting into your table or your countertop or something like that. Here's my first letter that's cut out. So when I'm going to put it on there, I'll put it on there, and then you'll put the middle of it on the inside. So that's why we want to keep the middle. And here is what it looks like when you've cut it all out. And this is all finished. So I have these, and then I have my 3 little pieces for the O and the E and the O right here. I made sure to keep those separate from my trash. So then you're just going to take this off of the paper. Okay. And now I have my bottle here. I'm going to put it this way. So you just peel off the backing, and be kind of careful when you're peeling it off so that you don't like rip these little pieces off or anything. And it actually might, in this case with doing the glass etching, it might be easier to have like a white contact paper or something that's colored, because once you have the etching on there, or using this clear one, sometimes it gets a little hard to tell if the etching has gone through or anything like that. And my bottle has been cleaned and wiped free of like oils or debris, so make sure you clean your surface first, just so that the armor etch will adhere well to it. Okay, so I'm sticking this on there. Make sure you get it on there really well. Try to be careful with these little pieces so that so they'll stick well. If you're touching them a lot on the back, they won't stick, and the armor etch will probably like bleed under, and then it won't look as clean as it would. So stick it on there, and then we're going to attach our little pieces. This gets a little tricky sometimes. And you can kind of move it around a little bit once you get it in there if you need to. Mine's a little bit lopsided. And sometimes, like, I'm noticing how this is not very even. I'll just kind of trim away while it's on the bottle. That's a little better. Okay, so now I have the words completely on there. Maybe double check to make sure it's all stuck down really well. And then just open this up, and you're going to put a pretty thick layer on here, just so that it does its job really well. Just kind of dab it on there like you're doing, like maybe stenciling with paint. Just so you don't have it bleed underneath, or you don't move any of the little pieces that are on the inside of the words. And this stuff is, like, don't let it touch your skin, because it'll eat away at your skin, and it has, I think it has, like, the poison control number on the back, so just be careful when you're using this. If you want to be safer than I'm being, then maybe just wear some gloves, depending on the size of your project and stuff like that. Alright, so we're just going to let it sit on there, and it has to sit for a minute or two. So once you're done with your brush, rinse it out really well, and this is a good place where it'd be nice to have gloves, but I just rinse it out, and then I use my scrub brush so I'm not touching the armor etch and getting that on my skin. So I just rinse it out really well in the sink. Make sure it's all out of there, because that stuff is kind of toxic. And clean that up. And then you can just let that dry. So now we're going to rinse off the etching cream. So you're just going to get some warm water started, and just let it rinse right up into the sink until it's pretty much all done. And then on the other one I did, after a while, I got a paper towel and kind of wiped it down. We just let it sit for a few minutes. It doesn't take very long for this to work. And like I said, with the clear contact paper, you can't really tell that it's done because the contact paper is a little more opaque than the etched area. But once we pull it back, you'll see that it is good to go. So I'm just going to wipe that off. And then we'll pull back the contact paper, pull off the little pieces on the inside. And once you're done, you can like clean it with glass cleaner just to make sure everything looks good. But there we have it. We're done. That's all it takes. So for my one that I use for dish soap, I actually dilute the dish soap, because otherwise when you're pouring, it takes like 10 minutes to get a drop of soap out of it. But it actually only takes a little bit of soap, maybe even that amount of soap, and then I fill the rest with water and kind of hold it at the top and gently swish it back and forth to mix the water with it. And then it's better for the environment because you're not using a ton of soap. So there we go. Alright, so we have our finished projects, and it was super easy. We just used a lot of things that we have at home with maybe, and a supplier or two that you would have to go out and buy. But it is a really cost-effective way to spice up just glass dishes that you have. You could do a Pyrex and put like a family name on it for a housewarming gift, or when somebody gets married as like a cute, put it in their gift basket or something like that, or a set of glasses or something like that, or candle holders. There's really a lot of things that you could do with this, and it just really spices up a simple glass piece. So thanks for watching.